With me today is Greg Ruffino. Greg's been in the arm industry since 2010, where he started from the ground up as a frontline collector for Williams and Fudge. He then spent 10 years at the company there as its director of training before leaving for Interpros in 2023, where he is now the North American sales manager. Greg, thank you so much for being a part of Training Bites. You know, the question I'd like to put to you today is, which stalls and or objections do you find are the most difficult to deal with?
Thanks for having me, Mike. And I love every stall because it presents a great opportunity for me to grow and be challenged with. And I say that, of course, with a touch of sarcasm, Mike. We know there's tons of stalls and objections, and the first key there is, unless this is your first day on the job or first week, at some point quickly in your tenure, you're going to hear a lot of similar or common stalls and objections, and you should be quickly armed in being comfortable in having a quick response or a witty response or a knowledgeable response, because it's not a surprise to you. So first thing off the bat, Mike, is never be surprised when you do hear a stall or objection. In fact, you should expect it so you're quickly ready to respond to that. But the most difficult, I think, is when you have the consumer who simply states to you in any fashion, I do not care about this bill, it's not important to me, I don't plan or have any need or reason to pay this bill off. Now, that specific consumer can go in a few directions. They can simply hang up the call and never speak to you again, or hang up on you every time you try to reach out to them. But let's go along the scenario of the consumer who simply does not care and is presenting probably no need to ever want to pay the bill, but they're going to stay in conversation with you. They're going to let an exchange of knowledge occur, right? And then it comes down to is, how do I make this person care? How do I make them understand that this is important and they should get resolution on this account? So from there, I think there's a very fine line in a conversation, Mike, and this comes with a little bit of time and practice, but it also comes with you being a very good active listener. And there's a point in time where we have to recognize the line in the sand has been drawn, where I say to myself, no matter what else I say or do, this consumer today, right now in this conversation, is not going to pay this bill. Versus me going over and over and over again, kind of arguing with them or getting to a point of contention with them, because there's no rapport being built. They're not going to have any other reason to want to talk to you. So how do I pique their interest and maximize the time I have with them on the phone today? I'm not going to be quick to end that call. As long as they want to engage, I'm going to engage with them. So when I recognize that line in the sand's been drawn, I am not going to do anything today that's going to get this person to pay the bill today. I turn the conversation into letting them know. And here's a quote. I'm going to read this off my screen here. You can change this up as you wish, but I'm going to say something to the effect of, I understand that we will not be setting up any payments today, but I'm also thankful for your time. Please allow me just a few more moments so I can fully inform you on some important notes on this file, because I want you to have all the information needed to help you going forward. We will continue to try to work with you, and I want you to have the same information that I see on your file. I believe at the very least, you're going to pique their interest to ask you, well, what is this information? And that is me planting a seed in their head, giving them information that will truly help them at hopefully tomorrow or later tonight, let alone next week or next month, that they can turn around and say, you know what, maybe this is something I need to take care of, or maybe I do have options. So I now turn this into an information discussion. So I am planting a seed with them that I'm going to hope is going to grow another day. This is information like, let me reiterate what the balance owed is, if there's any interest associated with it, any kind of settlements involved, and the very fact that you have payment options available as well. Hopefully your company has some form of an online payment portal that you deploy at the same time. And if there's any links that you can exchange with them that says, look, I'm going to pass you this link. If you want to go to the online portal later tonight, you can maybe do some self-servicing or further discovery. That's also a great tool to have in your pocket. But as I'm giving this information, I'm going to be extremely careful, Mike, that I am only discussing some of the things that come along the lines of potential future consequence or additional action from my agency. I'm only going to discuss things that I have been pre-authorized by my company to discuss, and or things that are definitively going to happen. And these could be anything under the sun, with credit reporting, potential future litigation processes, tax or wage garnishments, right? Something that might be of a consequence later down the road. I understand you don't care about this bill today. I understand we're not going to be setting up a payment today. We are here to work with you. I will continuously rephrase that, and I'm going to say, let me give you some information that will help you make decisions down the road. Here's an overview of your balance. Here's an overview of what we can do for you. Here's my plan to continue to work with you on this. And if and only if I am authorized to do so, and if and only if these items are definitively going to happen at a specific time frame that you can reference in the notes, then I may carefully let that consumer know that at some point in time those consequential actions would be occurring. Credit reporting, tax and wage garnishments, and potential litigation. But I'm going to win this conversation today, not with payment, but by being a great advocate, building a rapport, and at least spreading knowledge to them so we can hopefully win the battle on another day.
Excellent. Well, Greg, thanks for being a part of Training Bites. Really appreciate your insights today. Thanks again to Peak Revenue Learning for sponsoring this series, and thank you, everybody, for watching. We'll be back with another episode next week. Until then, take care.